Okay, so this is the second demonstration for making the eyes. And so what you need when you're making the eyes is to figure out what kind you're going to make. And then you need to figure out what tools you need. So here we have a whole bunch of wood tools. These ones are like rubber-ended tools. There's a few different kinds. Here's the fork if you're going to score and slip anything. And then we have all these broken tools. I never get rid of them because the end of these are good for like making eyes. So you can see that's round. We use these for all sorts of things. Here's another one. Okay, so I always have extras and use different tools for different things. Here we have an elephant that we need to have eyes for. And so we have to figure out where we're going to put the eye first. And this one, the eye is here and the eye is pointing toward the trunk. So on this one, the head is pointing up, but the eye still has to point toward the trunk. Okay? So we're probably going to need this tool here. Okay? We may need this pointed tool to make like the pupil of the eye. We may use something else. And then we have to decide what kind of eye. So tell me what kind of eye we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to do one kind of like this giraffe eye. Now a giraffe eye is different than an elephant eye, so we're probably going to have more of like just an eyelid around it and kind of like a slit instead of like a dot in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to hand this off, and so what you want to do is figure out where that eye is going to be, and we're going to look at the elephant here, and my guess is kind of about right here. How's that look to you? What do you think? Yeah. Or should it be about here?
Right there, yeah.
Like that? Okay. Now that's just a gauge as to where it's going to go. Then we need a little bit of extra clay. Okay. And so here I have some extra clay. And this is going to obviously be too big for that eye. I'm just going to take a small amount and make a little circle. Okay. And then I put it up against there. And does that look like it's the right size?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to make another one exactly the same, and then I'm going to turn this so that I can see that I put them in the exact same spot. Okay, and now the not giraffe but elephant eyes are kind of flat, and so I don't want them to be rounded like that. And I am attaching, so I have to add a little bit of slip, and I have to score it, so there's some water on there. I'm going to flatten it just a little bit, and I'll do the same thing to the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of smooth the edge just a tiny bit. Okay, and then we need to make kind of like an eyelid. So on here, I know this is really, really small, but it's kind of raised here and raised around the eye as well. And I want to kind of roll it a little bit, and then I'm going to flatten it. And what I really want is a nice edge here for an eyelid. So I'm going to curve it because it goes around the eye kind of like this, and I want it to point toward the trunk, okay? And then I'm going to smooth it. Notice I left this eyelid part alone. I need that line there. And then you do the same thing on the bottom side. Now that one doesn't go around all the way, so I have to try again. Maybe I can put that clay together. I rolled it a little bit. Now I'm going to flatten it. And now it's starting to look like an elephant eye. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm going to try and smooth it. And now I'm not done because I need it to look more like the wrinkles that are around the eye. Okay? So you can use these rubber tools to make all sorts of things pop out and create kind of like shadows. Okay? Now if you want to make the pupil, this one looks kind of like just a hole or a slit, so I can add that in there, and then it's going to start to look like your animal. If you want to make a dot, you're going to use more like this pointed tool, so you have to just decide what you want. Make sense? Okay, if you're just going to make a pressed in eye like this one, you're going to use a tool like this, where you just press it into the clay, and that's all you do. Much easier. And that's it.